Hey everybody, and welcome back to Plok, and this is the final update. We're now in the Fleapit, and we're going to exterminate the last of the fleas. Joining me is, once again, a special guest, if you'd like to introduce yourself.
Hello there, I'm Mr. DJB.
Alright, so you may have watched these episodes before, but you really don't know anything about this world, which the game throws you a big curveball, and all the levels are in vehicles.
Oh wow, so this is turned into more of a platformer, I guess, less of an action game.
I guess so. The first couple levels are short and kind of simple, which I'm thankful for because the unicycle is a little hard to control, as seen by me falling into the water right here.
At least he's wearing a helmet. He's concerned for his safety right now.
Yeah. And you know, he wears a helmet in quite a few of these levels, and I think it's a different helmet every time.
He's just got a stockpile of helmets that he puts on for different vehicles.
I guess so. Well, it's in the present. But anyway, just like that, the first level's done. It's pretty short, pretty basic.
Even he acknowledges it as well.
Yeah.
Alright then.
Yeah, so there's not much to that one, but as you can see, this update is like 33 minutes long, so yeah, we've only just begun.
So this is a vehicular genocide, then, is what we're going with.
Pretty much at this point, like, you know, Plok has cleared out all the fleas from his little island or whatever, and he's literally just going to their little homeworld now and just going to kill their queen. So it's literally flea genocide right now.
Yeah, it's not even.
Plok is no longer a hero.
It's no longer extermination; it's extinction. He's going for. We're going to kill every flea in the world.
I don't know if we've seen this car before, because like half of these vehicles are new, half of these vehicles we've seen before. I can't remember if we've ever seen the car, but it actually controls nicer than you'd expect.
Yeah, he looks pretty pimpin', as it were. That's probably the worst word to describe it as, but there you go.
Probably. The only problem with the car is that the trajectory of the shots changes if you're jumping up or falling down or flat on the ground, which I guess is kind of realistic, but it can be kind of a pain to line up some shots sometimes.
So do you want to focus on shooting when you're on the ground, or does it depend on the enemy?
It just depends on the enemy, where he is, what he's doing. Fortunately, he fell down in the water, so I don't need to kill him.
But we need to kill all of them, remember? Every single one.
Queen, and then the rest will follow suit, hopefully. Pretty sure that's how it works.
That's like a fate worse than death. There's no more females in our race. We're all doomed to die. We're the last ones.
Pretty much. But I mean, that's how all those movies go, right? They're like, we gotta kill the queen. Like in Metroid 2, it's just kill the Queen Metroid. Well, you do have to exterminate all the Metroids there, but the main goal is to kill the queen. If you didn't,
they would just be floating around and be having existential crises.
Yeah, pretty much. Anyway, we're on to our first airborne level, as referenced by the title High Flying.
Very
and I
nice.
think it's a vehicle we've seen already. And, they actually throw an enemy before the vehicle, which is kind of a curveball. And they'll do that in a few other levels in increasingly dickish situations.
I can imagine one level where enemies just dogpile you as soon as you start.
Yeah, there is one actually where one literally jumps at you right from the start.
Wow, I called it. Great. Awesome.
But yeah, so this is the jetpack that I think we've seen in one of the updates before. And his American helmet, which I love. It's very patriotic.
Yeah, wow. Okay. Now I just feel excluded, Plok. Thanks.
Yeah. But it's not too difficult to control, but the method of firing, the laser beam, it looks pretty cool, but when you have to clear out all of these blocks up here, it can be pretty annoying to line up your shots.
Therein lies the tedium. Well, thank God you don't have to get rid of all of them, though.
Yeah, as keeping with the game's theme, Plok has a very small hitbox and just kind of squeeze through that one pixel-wide gap.
I guess, as far as we're concerned, he's just a animated body and the limbs are merely optional, so hey.
Pretty much. And I like how I took far more damage getting that health pickup than I had lost before getting it. Here, actually, there's a trick, a speed trick that I didn't get a chance to show off. I was going to show it off if I ended up dying on the level, but in the water, there's a tiny little gap between the water and the solid ground, where you can actually fit right in between and zip through and basically skip about 80% of this level.
Oh, like a lot of the 2D Mario games. Just a cheap way of skipping everything.
Yeah, pretty much, like in Mario 3, when you can swim under the ship in World 8.
Here's the thing, though. Is that quite hard to do, or...?
It takes a little practice, but it's not incredibly difficult. You're not in really any danger of dying or taking damage when you do it, unless you really screw it up.
Right, so that would be really screwing up would be my department then.
See, here's a little bit of the shots being hard to line up, as I seem to miss like each and every one.
Come on, Plok, believe in America. You can do this.
Well, the creators are British, so...
Oh, I guess it was like offering a hand to our comrades. I don't know.
I guess so.
Foreign relations is not my department, really.
Mine either. But here's the end of the level. Once I fly up into the little zone that says you completed the level. Because you can scroll around on the ground all you want, but you have to fly up a little bit actually to actually finish the stage.
Oh, okay.
Which I think is, kind of funny. But once again, that level wasn't too tough. But the hard part, I think, starts in this next level, if it's the one I'm thinking of.
I'm seeing all these vehicular levels, and for some reason, the one thing that keeps coming to mind is the water level from Earthworm Jim inside the inside the glass.
The tube race.
Yeah, that thing. God damn. Is there anything as bad as that here?
No, there's no. Well, maybe. We'll see. But the title of this level is Easy Riding, and this level is anything but easy riding.
Oh, it's a shame because it looks awesome.
Yeah, and I think we've seen a motorcycle in one or two of the some of the bonus level segments, but this level is very tricky, mainly because of the trajectory of your weapon and obstacles like this, where there's a wall of breakable blocks, but fleas directly on the other side, and you have this little thing that's so hard to aim because the trajectory changes so much based on if you're moving or not, and
that looks like a complete pain in the ass.
It is.
I was going to chastise you by saying that if you're not constantly pulling a wheelie in this level, you're not doing it correctly, but I can imagine that would be incredibly difficult along with this awkward combat right here.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely want to keep going fast because you're in a freaking motorcycle, but at least here you can kind of, make these jumps pretty nicely.
I like that he does a full turn every time you just adjust it, so he's just pirouetting on his motorbike.
Yeah. But yeah, this part in particular is annoying, because you try to open up some of the gaps to jump through eventually, but that flea just keeps shooting right back at you.
It's like that. I would go so far as to say they have more firepower than you do. Especially with the
pretty much do.
Yeah.
And that last one managed to hit me from beyond the grave.
Like, this is a literal uphill battle right now.
Literally it is.
Uh-huh.
And I got really lucky I made that jump. I don't even think I jumped, I just went off it quickly and somehow managed to make it.
And thank goodness at that.
Yeah. This was one of the problematic levels when I was doing practice runs.
Ooh.
Once again, can't believe I didn't fall off there.
If you did fall off, would you fall into a pit or would you fall into a separate part of the level?
More than likely, well, you went up a lot in this level. That uphill battle that I won.
Yeah.
So you'd fall down to an earlier part of the level.
And that's probably
this jump,
worse.
by the way, is tricky.
Oh.
This last jump on there, it angles down a little bit, so you sometimes tend to overshoot it. But no, if I were to fallen, I would have either fallen on a platform in the lower part of the level and had to redo most of it, except the enemies wouldn't respawn, or I would have fallen into the water and taken damage and most likely die.
Well, in Plok's own words, this place really smells.
It does,
like
especially at that level.
I like that he has his own bits of commentary sprinkled throughout this LP.
Yeah, some of those have been really entertaining. like the ones that made no sense whatsoever.
Can you remember any particularly funny ones off the top of your head?
There's one level where you're playing as Plok's grandfather, and you finish a level, and he pulls like a can of something out of the ground, and he just says, "What sauce?" And it makes no sense to me. I don't know if it's just some British humor that I'm missing, or what,
LP memories. Fantastic.
But it makes no sense, but some of the things he says are really funny. And my personal favorite is probably when Plok says, "I've been diddled again."
That one is great. I love that one.
Yeah. So here we're in a helicopter, which I think was one of the first vehicles we ever saw in the bonus stages. And this level is not incredibly difficult, it's just very slow going.
Well, clearly that means you're going to have to speed run. Come on, get out your taking damage saving time skills right here, right now.
Well, there actually is a segment of this level where you can do the underwater zip that I mentioned in the other level to skip a good part of the later part of the level. But once again, I don't show that off because, like a true LPer, I want to show off most of the actual game.
Here's the level design that, we shouldn't be skipping, even though we can.
Yeah. But yeah, like you said, speed run, why not? I tried to take a damage boost to get through that guy, and just eventually decided to just take the hit and go through that guy too.
Yeah, fuck it.
The problem with the helicopter, in my opinion, is that you bounce around a lot. Controls fairly decently, but when you hit a ceiling or a wall of some kind, you bounce off it really a lot. And it can make navigating narrow passageways kind of tough, just because.
Oh yeah, just looking. This is the closest to the Earthworm Jim thing I brought up earlier, I would say, just looking at it.
Yeah, it does feel like it controls similarly to the two-brace vehicle.
Oh.
Though you don't have to worry about air or the thing cracking or anything like that. You can hit the walls and ceilings as much as you want. I never beat two-brace, by the way, in Earthworm Jim.
I beat it once and said never again.
Yeah, I pretty much got to that level, game over it, and said, I'm done. Feeling kind of done.
Which is odd, because I'd say this game as a whole looks harder. I mean, as a whole, not just that one particular bit, but yeah.
I think I'd agree. I don't remember if you got any continues to start with in Earthworm Jim. But Earthworm Jim is kind of one of those things like, each level is really unique and all that kind of stuff. And it's sometimes not as brutally challenging as some of the levels in this game. It's just more about memorization, whereas this game you can have everything memorized, but the bosses can be so difficult sometimes that it really doesn't matter.
Plok is the real OG, is what we're saying here.
Pretty much. But, yeah, like I said, this level's kind of slow, and at this segment you just kind of want to rain death upon the enemies down here.
That's something I was going to point out, actually, is when you're above the enemies with this helicopter, that must feel pretty satisfying, just dropping all the cannonballs.
It is, actually.
Seeing everything beneath you just blow up.
Yep.
I mean, if the whole stage was like this, like going down, I'd be really, really happy with this one.
Yeah, that would be really cool, but unfortunately there's a lot of up and down. But of course most of the enemies are somewhat below you. Sometimes they're kind of right next to you, which is a little scary. But we try to deal with that as much as we can. And here's where you can kind of zip under right there. And you can skip this segment, and I believe the next segment as well, and pretty much spits you out right at the end.
I mean, just having looked at the scenery there, I would have assumed that's actually the way you're supposed to go and gone that way, so, wow, yeah. They kind of highlight it with the rock face and everything.
Yeah. But yeah, you can pretty much zip right in between the water and the bottom of the solid ground right there.
What are these goofy enemies anyway? What are they supposed to be? Is there a name for them? Or?
I have no clue. They're just some kind of weird fleas, I guess.
Oh, I feel really bad for them if they're fleas, like...
I mean, I guess these are all supposed to be fleas. I mean, there's the flying fleas that kind of home in on you, the orange ones, that I just try to go by as fast as I can because they're really annoying.
I think these are the fleas that would get bullied at school by the other fleas.
Probably.
By the
normal
I can see
jumping
ones.
See, you come out there, but then you could zip under this part too. And I'll probably end up, when I post this update in the thread, I'll post the SGDQ speedrun they did of this, which you'll see a lot of the zipping in these levels.
I can imagine they did it like barely hitting enemies, like just grazing through things and using Plok's very small hitbox to just breathe through the level as if there's nothing there.
Yeah, and the other thing is, I mean, this looks like a huge vehicle, but the hitbox is still pretty small.
I noticed, I've seen so many shots just phase through you right now.
Yeah, I think the speedrun at that marathon, it was done in about 35 minutes or so.
The whole game?
Yeah.
And wow, I guess
Well,
for us that's one world.
Yeah, with skips and everything. And once again, you can skip this segment. And this is an especially scary segment of the level.
Jeez. Oh, God.
And,
oh, no.
I got really scared and retreated over to something kind of safe over here. But here it's just pretty much spray and pray. Hope you hit the fleas, hope they die, hope you don't get hit. Because you can kind of
as long as you stay near the roof, I guess, then you'll be okay.
Yeah, that's just what I was going to say. You can pretty much stay up in safety. And then the exit of the level is just right here. Also, something I forgot to point out in an earlier level, Simply Simon in an earlier update was asking if the life counter goes beyond 9, or if it stops at 9, or if it registers lives past 9 if it does stop. In an earlier level, I actually got a 1-up at 9, and it stayed at 9, and it does not go above 9. So, Simply Simon, if you were still wondering about that, 9 is the limit.
We game designers cannot count higher than 9.
And here's where I was talking about, where the level starts with an enemy right next to you.
Yeah, oh wow, that's he's an aggressive bugger as well, jeez.
Oh, he is, and he's jumping around too much, I can't hit him.
Alright, we got him. We've already taken a fair bit of damage before even getting into the vehicle.
We have. And, oh yeah, this is the vehicle I have a lot of things to say about.
I'm looking forward to it. Oh, I dig it.
It's a big tank. And, surprisingly still has a really, really tiny hitbox. See where that star is? That's pretty much the hitbox of the tank.
Oh my word.
Yeah.
Does it control like a tank, or does it actually control well?
Oh, does it control like a tank? As you can see, it's pretty slow and can't jump that well, but at least the shots are somewhat easy to aim. The only downside to this thing, aside from being slow and not jumping well, is that you get pushed backwards a little bit. There's a little bit of a backfire when you shoot. So as you can see, I'm just kind of sliding backwards every time I shoot, which can be a problem later in the level, which I think you'll get a kick out of.
Alright, I'm looking forward now. I'm hyped.
But as slow and long as this level is, there is a Plok medallion over here, so in the speedrun they skip this level completely.
There's also a big stinking Yoshi egg right there.
Yeah, and here I demonstrate how small the thing is. I just fell through that 1 pixel gap.
That's fantastic.
Which I never get tired of that. It's still so funny.
I don't need physics, I'm Plok.
There's kind of a bit of a dick move here, because obviously the way your shots go, you can only fall off. You can't fall off through these things in the middle. But there's enemies on either side, so you have to know in advance to kind of aim to the middle a little bit after falling through, or else you'll just take a hit.
Oh no, I see. I like that. I like how much thought has been put into this game for the enemies to be able to dick you over. Like, it's never haphazardly. It rarely seems to me to be enemies that are haphazardly thrown in. Like, they're all placed in the perfect area to completely screw you, if necessary.
Yeah, pretty much. And my problem with the enemies in this level is that they can, once they get out of range, like off the screen, they're still there, but they'll jump immediately when they re-enter the screen or shoot. So sometimes, like, especially with a slow-moving vehicle like this, you want to kind of take it slow so you don't take a hit. And sometimes you'll just see me stand still and kind of shoot and inch forward, just because I'm just trying to not get hit and kill the enemy before, like, right at the first possible moment.
I guess to that end, I don't know how 3D transition would have ever worked for Plok if this game ever made it to the 3D era. I'm
not sure either. Here's another bit of a dick move. It's the same kind of scenario as before, except you have to exit on the left side because there's water on the right.
Oh, so it just completely goes against everything, ever.
And here's the worst part of the level. Have you ever done platforming in a tank?
Oh no. Oh my.
Me either up until this point. And to make it worse, there's a wall of destructible blocks you have to destroy in order to get through.
You have the recoil, which will knock you off.
While balancing on the platform, while taking recoil every time you shoot.
Oh my god.
This, if there's any part of the game that's a dick move, it's this segment right here.
Oh, please tell me there's more.
And you think, maybe it's done. No, there's more and it's stronger. This is, no, my heart was pretty much pounding at this point because this is so stressful. In fact, my heart's picking up a little bit right now, actually, just watching it again.
I can imagine you go up to the next one, it just spells out, get bent, or something along those lines.
Pretty much, actually. Because you think, okay, I've gone through 2. There can't be another one, can there? But lo and behold,
even
the
stronger.
strongest possible ones. So through the magic of editing, we'll see how many rotations this takes. Quite a few.
The best kind of LPs are the ones that make you dizzy.
Alright, and here we go. I tried to jump through, but I didn't have enough.
Oh god, no!
Couldn't make it back on and died.
Why?
I was pretty upset at that, but I thought it was funny. Now that I watch it again, it is pretty funny.
I'm sure at the time you didn't, but in retrospect, yes, very, very funny.
Yes, and then, even after all that, there's a couple fleas just to bother you some more. And
God,
I'm kind of low on health.
Imagine if they just knocked you back into the water at this point.
Oh my god, that'd be rough. And I took a hit and almost died. Fortunately, he just kept going to the right. I said, take easy, live and let live. I'm done with this level.
I'm out of here. Oh, I thought he was going to say tanks for the memories or something along those lines. You missed an opportunity, Plok.
You did. But at least you covered it right there. Because what is an LP without puns? Every so often.
Alright, so next vehicle then.
Alright,
Blue
last level
gun.
for the boss. And we've had a tank, we've had a motorcycle. How could we possibly get anything better than that? You wanna take a guess as to what this vehicle might be?
It's gonna be... Ooh, I'm running through ideas in my head. Like a jet? Like a full-on jet?
Ooh, close.
Wingsuit. UFO! Oh,
UFO. And
thinking outside of the box.
This controls smoother than any of the airborne vehicles. When you stop hitting the directional button, it stops moving. Straight up. It doesn't bounce off the roof like the helicopter did. And it actually has rapid fire that fires a straight line all the time.
Have they given you a bitch of a level to accommodate for the improved controls?
It's quite a long level. There's a few difficult segments. I'd say that probably the helicopter level was a little scarier, just because you can kind of take the obstacles and the enemies a little faster. But this level is just really, really long.
At least I would say you moved fairly fast, but you've got these constant barricades which you have to shoot past anyway.
Yeah, there's a lot of things like that in this level. You don't really get a lot of time to take advantage of the fact that this vehicle can go at warp speed, pretty much.
Oh, okay, what is even the... So they've put spiky ones there in the hope that players are just gonna run and dash straight into every single one.
They put spiky things there just because why not, I guess.
Oh, and you nearly got hit by them as well.
I did, actually.
Ah. Again, they plan everything. That flea was specifically there to kick you back into the spikes.
Yeah, I hate fighting the jumping fleas on downward slopes, because they're just so hard to hit with anything. Your fists,
what I would probably
vehicles...
do is actually fly to the right and see if you can get beneath them, and then shoot from the left, or shoot from their right, or your left, right, I don't know. Shoot from the other side. I mean, that could always do it.
I kind of like these little segments where you have to keep switching sides and shoot things. It's a pretty nice little thing, little touch.
Nice gimmick,
and then,
yeah.
Yeah, and then the enemy is just really easy to kill after you get past the obstacle. So, DJB, while this level is very long, I'm going to share a little bit of information. Don't take this the wrong way, but you were not the first person I picked to co-commentate this video.
Alrighty.
I actually sent an email to the Pickford brothers, who designed this game, or created it, rather.
I can spend the rest of this... we can retake all of this, and I can pretend to be the Pickford brothers, if you like.
Yeah, I mean, they're British, so,
Hello,
no.
I'm a Pickford brother. Oh, so am I, yes. We're both the Pickford brothers. This is how we talk.
Yeah, we sound similar because we're brothers.
Yes. The voice runs in the family.
No, but I sent them an email just saying, like, hey, like, I've recently discovered this game, it's awesome, I like it, and I'm doing a Let's Play, and I described something awful, and what Let's Play is, and all this stuff, and asked them if they would want to co-commentate this video with me. They did get back to me, and unfortunately they said that they're really not too big fans of doing podcasts or videos or anything like that, just because, you know, like, they just don't really care to be put on the spot or anything like that.
Oh, that's...
which I
that's
totally
fair
understand
enough.
and I'm cool with, but just the fact that they got back to me was really cool. And
Shout out to the Pickford brothers, you guys are great.
shout out to the Pickford brothers.
Yeah.
And they checked out my videos and said that, you know, they dug my Plok videos, and I mentioned that some people in the thread were talking about the Plok comic, and they were saying, oh, we're glad that you guys dig the comic as well. Keep up the good work, and yeah. So
I did start checking out the comic, and I was quite amused by it. I like it quite a lot.
it's pretty funny.
It's the kind of thing I wish I could read in, say, the Beano or the Dandy or some other weekly comic or something like that.
Some other publication I've never heard of.
Yeah.
But that was, to go back to the game, that was kind of the most difficult section of the level. You have to go down and shoot those enemies, be really careful. I died quite a few times there at that part.
Alright.
And then this part I just kind of decided, you know, those orange guys don't do too much damage, I'll just take a few hits and speed through everything.
Oh no. Oh.
Somehow managed to survive and kill that other enemy that was annoying me back there.
Just as planned.
And we made it to the end of the
Yeah.
level. Will I ever reach the end? Well, Plok, it's funny you should say that, because all that's left is the final boss. The Fleet Queen
Oh, man.
herself.
Fantastic.
DJB,
Okay.
are you psyched for the final
I am
boss?
psyched. I'm ready to exterminate a species.
Would you believe me if I told you we had a vehicle for the final boss?
I would believe you, and I'd be very, very happy about that.
Because we do.
Well, what is the vehicle for the final boss?
Do you think it could be a step up? We could possibly have a step up from a UFO mothership kind of thing?
Are we just going to be riding around on a bomb, perhaps?
No. Unfortunately, we go way, way backwards, and we are on spring shoes and have a can of bug spray.
Plok, I feel like you could maybe have taken a vehicle from one of the previous stages.
You could have
and-
ridden the UFO that you were just in, or even go back and get the tank. Ride the UFO, pick up the tank, take it to the fight. But,
There are a multitude of things you could have done, but as it stands, you seem to have gone for the goofiest approach.
yeah, I mean, I still think, like, you know, the bug spray is a perfect touch because, hey, it's a bug.
And now he's finally wearing the Union Jack helm,
Yeah,
representing.
I was so happy that you were so offended by the USA helmet. Because you're like, where's my love? Guess what? Final boss.
Oh yes, they saved it for the. Oh god, that's gross.
Yeah, it's pretty disgusting. Since we haven't said anything about the fight, basically all you have to do is dodge a couple of her shots. She poops out a few eggs here and there, and you kill the little fleas that spawn. She falls down. You shoot her, rinse and repeat until she's dead.
I mean, she looks relatively easy, but I don't know if that's just you playing very well. What's your what would you say about the difficulty? Would you say this is quite hard?
Not an incredibly difficult boss, but you have to be really good at kind of weaving through her shots, because you'll see in some of the cycles, like, you can just kind of get screwed over and have to take a hit. See, I'm jumping over these, and then you have to weave in between the ones that are coming downward.
So it's actually working around the pogo stick, which is constantly jumping you.
Yeah, you have no control over your bounces, by the way. It's just constantly doing it.
Oh,
So here,
oh, yeah.
I don't know how I didn't take a hit there.
Yeah, didn't that egg hit you right in the face?
Yeah, well, the eggs don't damage you. You just kind of kick the eggs around. When they hatch, that's when they start damaging you. And just like that, she's done. We have killed all the fleas. Genocide complete.
Well, even worse, you've left a few of them alive and they're unable to breed.
Yeah, they're just stuck in the levels, like, have taken a hit or two already. I love how they still give me a little continue medal, despite the fact that was the last level of the game.
It's almost like a little, it's just a token of appreciation.
Yeah.
Like a little reward, make you feel good about yourself.
Yeah, it's like, you didn't die on the boss, congratulations, here's a P to spell out Plok. And, yeah, Plok did sort those fleas out, all of them.
You sure did, buddy!
And, so that's the end of the game. It took me quite a while. I did an entire LP between this one and the last one that I did. But hey, it's all good, and we're done now. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank all the people who have guested with me, Skip Things, Simply Simon, Combat Lobster, and of course Mr. DJB, my good friend.
I'll thank you on all of our behalfs. Thank you very much.
I'd also like to thank the Pickford brothers for being cool and making a great game, and the Fallen brothers for making one of the best game soundtracks I've ever heard.
Here's a crazy thing. I did actually, the first time I ever heard of Plok, it was from some video game radio thing that's online, and they just, out of sheer randomness, just played a song from Plok, and I digged it quite a lot.
Yeah, I mean, the soundtrack was really, really good. Just a cherry on top of another good game, but a very hard game.
I think oh wow, Plok is knackered. Like he can't stay up for more than 2 minutes.
You just went on the biggest adventure of your life, fought some of the hardest bosses in game history. Wouldn't you be knackered?
I probably would, but it's the fact that he then keeps getting up and looking around paranoid. Like, I think he's now got some PTSD from his adventure as well.
The thing is, like, in the song are some of the boss noises, like the little growling kind of noise.
Oh, so he is reacting to memories of the bosses.
So maybe it's all in his head, and we're just hearing what's in his head. But see, he's still a little scared, despite the fact maybe he knows that what he's done is wrong by killing all the fleas. And he's like, they're coming for me. They know what I did.
Oh wow. Okay. Well, we've just added the best alternate interpretation of this game ever. We have, and this screen always weirded me out. I don't like the way he looks here. What is that like? Is that like a clay Is that like a clay model of him that's been photoed into the game?
I think it is.
That's pretty great.
That is the face of Nightmares.
Well done.